have different paths that they can take now. They are at that crossroads in their life. One could be a path which is slow and meandering, and one could be a fast track path, and it could lead them to various destinations, right? And
hello everyone and welcome to our channel, The Mutual Fund Guys, where we speak only about mutual funds. I'm Samir and with me is Mahesh, and we both are partners at AMS Investments, which is a mutual fund distributor in Mumbai. So today's video is going to be another interesting one. Today we are going to take a slight detour. We're not going to talk about investing lessons or life lessons from a movie, but from a poet, one of India's most coveted poet and lyricist, Mr. Gulzar. Mahesh, obviously, I don't want to say that you are older than me, but, you have probably heard more of Gulzar's songs and, stuff than I have. So I'm going to hand it over to you to tell me more about Gulzar Sahab.
Yeah, Gulzar Saab, yes. The range that he has done. So Gulzar has done in the 70s a list of movies which are all iconic, right? He directed, he wrote, he also wrote the lyrics for those movies. But now today I want to talk about Gulzar the lyricist, not the director. And Gulzar the lyricist has a very interesting way of putting things. And I want to give an example. He I think, is one of the best poets who uses visual metaphors. I actually want to talk about that movie Andhi, the song we want to talk about. And that is that song where he writes, "Is मोड़ से जाते हैं, कुछ सुस्त कदम रस्ते, कुछ तेज कदम राहे, पत्थर की हवेली को, शीशे के घरोंदों में, तिनकों के नशेमंद तक इस मोड़ से जाते हैं." Now, if you think of what he's saying that is mode, which means, let's say, crossroad. From this crossroads go two types of path. One is sust kadam raste, means like a slow track, right? And kuch tez kadam rahe, which means a track, a fast track. And where does it all lead to? It can lead to pathar ki haveli ko, which means a mansion made of stone, right? Strong, which is solid, right? And then otherwise it could lead to a glass house, शीशे के घरोंदों में, which means it could lead to a glass house, or तिनकों के नशेमंद तक, which means that it could also be leading to a house made of straw, which could be blown away with the slightest gust of wind. It looks like what he's trying to say in that, with this kind of metaphor, is that have different paths that they can take now. They are at that crossroads in their life. One could be a path which is slow and meandering, and one could be a fast track path, and it could lead them to various destinations, right? And what he's trying to say is that you have to make the right choice. What I'm trying to see in this is that each path is a choice that a person can make in his life. The paths have their own personalities.
Right.
And the choice of your path should match your personality. Then it will take you to the right destination. And this is my interpretation. He's saying there are different paths have different personalities. And if you want to reach your destination, then you have to choose the path that matches what you want, right? What is the kind of person you are?
Yes.
Then it will reach you or take you to the right destination. How it relates to our investments. I mean, if you are a person who is risk averse or can't handle risk and volatility, then there is no way a pure equity portfolio will do good for you, right? We have all heard in our past videos how if you hold only for a year, then there is a 25% chance that you will make a negative return. And a person who can't stomach volatility is the ideal candidate to actually hold it for a year, then say that this doesn't work out for me and get out, right? Because it doesn't match his personality. The only thing that he could do, therefore, is that his portfolio will have to be something which is more risk averse, less volatile, which could be hybrid funds or balanced advantage funds, which we recommend to our people. That doesn't have the same kind of volatility. And therefore, it is more likely then that this investor, whose personality doesn't like volatility, will actually stick to the path and reach that Patthar ki Haveli, right, at the end of end of that path, which is that he will actually, his portfolio will actually do well for him over the long term. And not only will it do well, he will have the ability to hold it for that period of time. So
Of time.
the path, the personality of the path, which is balanced advantage funds or less volatile funds, and the personality of the individual himself matches, which
Matches.
allows him to hold it for the long term, right? So that is the way I would interpret this song and try and connect it to investing in general.
I want to make one point here, Mahesh. So I agree with the fact that you should do what matches your personality. But I also believe that over the course of years and years, that can have a change. I mean, I'll
Yeah,
give you
the
an example,
personality
right?
itself could change. Yeah.
Change. Like I'll tell you, a lot of younger generation, they get into this habit of trading futures and options, etc. Because it at that time their life is more, I won't say volatile, but they have a lot more things happening. So as a product, as a outcome of that is that they like to trade and they like to be at the top of the market. They want to trade the news. They are quite well connected with what's going on in the
Yeah.
world. So they become traders. But their personality is not to take too much risk. But they eventually want to be traders. But there's a mismatch there
Yeah.
where they are not able to take that risk, but still want to be traders because it's exciting, it's fun, there is a huge upside possible if you get things right. But as we all know, 99% of all traders fail, only 1% is successful. This is very important, right? You have to match your personality, but also evaluate your own personality. Like, what is your personality? And for me, I'll give you my personal example. I was a trader and investor, in my early years, and I did well for myself. But as I grew older and became a family man, I became more of a long-term investor. I didn't want to take that much volatility of trading in my life. And I wanted to shift mostly towards long-term investing, which is what I've done. So over a period of time, you change a bit, okay? And you have to let your personality guide you as to how you want to do that with your investments.
Yeah.
So you might be 25 now, you might have a completely different personality. By the time you're 40, you might have a completely different personality. And there won't be a major change, but there'll be a few changes. And if you adapt that well, then that path that you've taken, you can diverge a bit and still get to that rock solid house that you want to, or the rock solid Haveli that you're talking about, right?
To a large extent, a certain number of certain traits that last for a
course,
lifetime, and there are certain traits that keep improving or changing. Forget improving or not, but do change over a period of time.
Yeah.
And it is incumbent on us. It is our responsibility to see that and understand that change, and also to evolve and change our methods or our paths,
Correct.
so that in the evolving, as the personality evolves, our paths evolve, our methods evolve, and we are in a position to finally reach our goals, which matches our personality or the kind of person we are.
Your personality is your childhood essentially found it is your foundation of your personality for many, many years, right? I mean, and there are some personality traits which will not change. I mean, I am not a introvert. I will never be able to, sit behind, do some accounting work or anything. I'm an extrovert. I like meeting people and, so it will be a very difficult shift if that has to happen. It will never happen, right? So some things are sort of set in stone and these are your childhood sort of foundational years, right? Which kind of shape your personality for many, many years. But yeah, I agree. And I think you are right. If you are not ready to take any kind of risk in the markets, then equity investing is not for you, whether it's mutual funds or direct stocks. Then you are better off maybe going to hybrid funds or even debt funds, right? But if you are more risk averse, even if you're older in age, but your personality is that there's a saying, right? You go big or you go home. And if you are even at the age of 60, but your personality is that I want to really live my life with a little bit amount of risk and I'm not worried about it, then maybe for a 60-year-old, even equities might just be the right place. Who knows? There is no saying that, oh, I am a 60-year-old, so I need to be in debt.
No,
If
so
the
nowhere
personality
we
of the
talked about age, right? I mean, age is not a personality definition at all. I think you could generalize that older people are
That's what I'm saying.
probably
The
like
people
this,
that
but That is not true.
Yeah, that is not true. And but what people tend to saying is that, okay, the older you are, the more you want to get. Your personality might not change at 60. I'm saying you could be
No.
the same person at 30 as well as 60. You know, some people who just want to be highly risk averse, sorry, very risk prone,
Yeah.
and they might be happy with even an equity portfolio. That's what I'm trying to say. You might assume that getting older, you might get a bit more risk averse, but that might not be the case for many people. They might say, okay, you know what, I am who I am since I was 30, right? And I'm not going to change that. So that's a good point.
So yeah, so this was about Gulzar and his poetry.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, if people understood a little, I mean, if I would consider this to be a good video, if people could actually go back and listen to that song. If people actually went back and said, okay, Mahesh has talked about this song, let me at least see it. Or if they go back and see Humne Dekhi Hai. YouTube provides everything. I don't want to actually show that song here, but I'm sure people can actually check that out themselves.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept there that you mentioned. I unfortunately didn't get to watch too many of his movies, but yes, I have watched some of his movies, or at least heard some of his songs, not his movies, I think. I must have seen Andhi, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, I agree. There are a lot of lessons from from these movies, from our lyricists, from our poets in India that have life-defining lessons which we sometimes miss or they fly under the radar. And as I said, the older you get, hopefully you get wiser and you start to appreciate these small nuances that are there in these. And, you know, people like Gulzar, etc. I mean, they obviously have, are, have, they have so much of creativity that what they're trying to really say, it's so hard to judge. Like what is in their minds when they're saying this. And we can only interpret that to some extent.
Exactly. You
And,
can only interpret it to
and
your
every poet has
understanding.
that liberty of saying what he wants to say or saying what she wants to say, but it's up to the listener to interpret it in as many as fascinating ways as is possible, right? So thank you for watching, and we hope to come up with some more interesting videos like this. And maybe in the next video we will also be on another lyricist or another movie. We hope you like it. And in the meantime, please write to us at hello@amsinvestments.net. If you like our content, please subscribe to us. If you don't like our content, don't subscribe to us. But we hope that this content is appreciated by you.
Yeah.
And we hope
But
to come up
engage with us. I mean, send comments to the YouTube
send
channel.
comments.
Just engage with us if you.
Happy to engage with any one of you and all of you. So please keep writing, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.